So welcome to our open house. You are at the library session, and so we're going to kind of introduce ourselves as your librarians. I am Christelle Barrand, Mrs. B, as people refer to me.
I'm Jennifer Kosh. I am Mrs. K.
And our other honorary librarian, I'm going to pop back into the meet. Jeffy, say hello to everybody. Jeffy, you have to unmute your mic and say hello.
Hello, everybody.
There we go.
I'm
That's
not
Jeffy.
a librarian. I'm just one of those honorary geeks that kind of help out in the
That's
library.
right. So he's basically a librarian with us too. So we all do tech troubleshooting together. If you have any questions, you can type them in the chat at any time because Ms. Kosh is manning the chat and she'll be responding to questions in real time. Our primary role is to provide support, and we provide support in three big areas. Technology, we co-teach, and we also provide support and resources, which is probably the most traditional way of people thinking of librarians. Like, people always think of librarians as the book masters, right? And we do that for sure, but we also provide access to resources like technology, research, and information, which is probably really important right now. If we don't have the answer, we like to direct you to the answers or direct you to the person that can give you the answer. We are big into technology, but we don't just provide tech. We like to make good technology recommendations for tools, for better ways to use tools. And then we also provide tech support, which we've been doing a lot of lately. And then we love to teach with the teachers. We like to teach lessons about research, technology, and just really anything related to literature. We're all about equitable access, and that means access to technology resources and the support that goes with that. We know that it's been a big deal for the last week and for the next few weeks to get students devices to make sure that they all have equitable access to their education, which happens to be remote right now. If anyone has a Chromebook, I know that we've been having a lot of frustration with logging into Chromebooks. So the most common issue is this thing called Zscaler. And Zscaler sort of looks like this, and nobody really knows what to enter in there. It's a pretty simple fix. You just have to enter the full email. The problem is our students don't know their email, and it's really long. And if you leave off the S in students, it's not going to work. So this is kind of the quick fix to making sure that students can get into those Chromebook devices. And that is accessible on our website as well. In terms of accessing resources, once you've got the device, the key is you have to be able to get into the Wake ID because everything springboards from Wake ID. There's lots of icons in there. If you can't get in there, you can't get to all those icons. The Wake ID is actually the first initial, middle initial, and last name of a student. At least that's the formula. If you have a common last name, you might have a number. A double last name, you might have a hyphen. It just sort of depends. But typically it's first initial, middle initial, last name. A lot of students think that their lunch number is their Wake ID. That is a really important number, but that's not actually their Wake ID. That's the beginning of their email is their Wake ID. So when they log into Wake ID, they're going to use that Wake ID, and then they've created a password. And therein lies some of the issues, right? Some of the students cannot remember their passwords. So we do have a student accounts page on the website. It's under students, and it's got all kinds of information on it, depending on the issue that you're having. But there's also a video that kind of breaks down the accounts for the students as well as the parents. And then if you are really still struggling, you can fill out that form for a password reset. Although now that students are connected to teachers, they can also reset their Wake ID passwords. All right, so if you have any problems, that's always accessible to you. So I kind of want to just go over some big icons to really pay attention to, and we're going to break those down a little bit. And that would be the library system, student email, Google Apps, Classroom, Canvas, and of course, PowerSchool. This icon is probably the least familiar to the students. This is the library system, essentially the online card catalog called Destiny, Follett Destiny. Last year, this wasn't that important because we saw students in person, so they would just come to the library, we would help them find a resource and move on. But now that they're not here, we still want to be able to get them the resources that they need. So how do they use this? If they click on and log into their Wake ID, you'll see that they have this icon, the Follett Destiny. Now this is my portal, but this is also in their portal. And when they click on it, it's going to take them to the catalog associated with Knightdale High School. For them to make a request, they need to go up to that catalog tab, and simply search for a title. So let's just say I want The Hate You Give. It's really important that you spell it correctly. Otherwise, the catalog is not like Google. It will not figure it out. Once you see that you've got a couple of books there, we actually have it in Spanish and in English, and it is currently available. You tap on the book, and then the students need to look for the Hold It tab. When they hit that Hold It tab, and then they save it, we're going to be running daily reports and pulling books for students, which we are going to put on a cart out front of Knightdale High School between 7:30 and 3:30, Monday through Friday. We will send the student an email when the book is ready so that they know that they can come and pick it up during that time. If for some reason a student cannot pick it up during that time, then we'll make individual accommodations for those students. But we are going to try to get some of these print resources back in our students' hands. There is a video on how to place holds in case your student needs to watch that, but we've also placed that on the website as well. Email. Whoa, this is the next icon that is so important. Email is the primary way that we have to communicate in a virtual world. And up until this year, students really weren't using email at all. But it is the only way, using their student email is the only way that a teacher will respond via email with a student. And again, they get to their email through their Wake ID portal. Now this gets a little confusing because we are a Google Apps district, but we don't have Gmail. Their email is this icon right here, and it's called Outlook. But one thing about Outlook that's important to note, there is a focused inbox and an other inbox. And so students need to check both of those inboxes if they're looking for something. To type a new message, they type new message, and usually they can simply search for their teacher in their to box, but they can also find their teacher's email on the website in the faculty directory, which I'll show you in just a little bit. PowerSchool is probably the one that parents are most familiar with, but last year PowerSchool began to be accessed through, you guessed it, the Wake ID portal. So if you go through the Wake ID portal, you don't have to remember that second password. Students just need to look for their home base icon. It says Home Base NC Ed Cloud. And when they tap on that home base icon, they're going to be brought to a page like this. All they have to do is enter their ID number, their student ID number, and that will take them into PowerSchool where they can get grades, schedules, teachers. So we are a Google Apps district. Rather than searching Google Drive, you're going to hear me say this a lot, students need to access their Google Drives through their Wake ID portal. All they have to do is log in and then find the triangle, and this takes them to their Google warehouse, their Google Drive. This is where all of the documents they create, the slides they create, any videos or photos they need to upload, all of that can be stored here, and they have unlimited storage. Additionally, this is where you find the waffle menu in the upper right-hand corner. The waffle menu is where they access the Google Meet icon, and this is how they're getting to their classes every day. All they have to do is log into their Wake ID, Google, find the Google Meet icon, and all they have to do is tap that button and enter their teacher's code. Even though Google Drive is a really important part of their education, that's not how teachers are delivering content. Teachers are using learning management systems, and those are just online platforms for teachers to deliver content and for students to turn in assignments. Okay, it's a really important communication tool in remote learning, and we have two platforms, Canvas or Google Classroom. So how do you know which one your teachers are using? And that's where the faculty directory is really important. We have website pages this year, and those website pages have all the information you need. So I'm just going to search for Miss Wemple, and I have to push the search button and use her as an example. And you can see if I view her website, her profile is going to come up. And in that profile is all the information that you need if you have Miss Wemple as a teacher, and also you know that courses can be accessed at Canvas. So if I'm accessing the courses at Canvas, that means that I'm going to the Wake ID portal, finding the Canvas icon, right? And when I tap on the Canvas icon, a dashboard is going to come up with all of my classes currently using Canvas. Okay, and students click into those individual classes to find assignments, information, announcements, everything that you need to be a part of that teacher's class. If, on the other hand, I search Miss Romo, Miss Romo is not using Canvas. She is using Classroom. So when I view her website profile page, I see that she's using Classroom, but additionally, I see that she has a Google Classroom code. For me to join her Google Classroom, you guessed it, I go to the Wake ID portal, tap on the Google Classroom icon, and then I hit the plus button where I'm going to enter the code. Now, most of your students have already done this or accepted the invitation, but to join a class, all they have to do is enter a class code, and then they will appear in their dashboard here. If you are using Google Classroom, it kind of looks like a Facebook stream, but there's also a classwork tab where a lot of their assignments and information will be organized. So students will be submitting information through Classroom if their teacher's using it. So knowing your child's learning management system is huge, very important. If your child's teacher is using Google Classroom, you can actually request to have access to the course as a parent. If your child's teacher is using Canvas, they can make their course public so that you can at least view what your child should be doing. And you can just email your teacher if you can't find that information on their website profile page. So that's the Wake ID portal in a nutshell. There are tons more resources on here, of course, and students can totally explore those, but those are the ones that we feel like you must know about for remote learning to truly be successful for you. Here's remote learning. You're not coming into the classrooms. It's hard to figure out where to find information. We have tried to make everything as accessible as possible through the KHS website, and that really should be your first stop for resources and support. If you're not sure of a question, head there, mess around in the website and see if you can find it. And if you can't find it, by all means, email teachers, pop into the librarians, and we'll try to help you out. But let me show you a couple of things that are super helpful at our website page, which, by the way, can also be accessed from the Wake ID portal. Right there is the school website icon. So on our website page, you'll notice that there's a couple of really giant banners at the top. That's stuff that we think is really important for everybody to know, with links to really important things. Faculty directory, the remote learning page, help, and of course open house information. But we also have a slideshow that kind of pipes through, and that slideshow is also super important information. So there's reminders over here, and I just want to pop into the remote learning page to show you some resources there. After we had a first day of learning, we decided there were a lot of questions coming through that we needed to address, and so we addressed them as best as we could. Some of these links go to videos, some of them go to tutorials. This is the Chromebook login issue that everyone's been having. There's account information, schedule, you name it. Everything we think you need to be successful with remote learning will be there. So it can be a little overwhelming, so maybe only use it for what you need it for. Also on the homepage, don't forget about the principal's message. That's always a really important thing to keep up with. And then, of course, there's the link to the Wake ID portal if you need access there. A couple of other things we've gone over, the student accounts page. We've already kind of talked about that, but that's right under students. Don't forget about student services. They have an entire website, and that's where you should reach out for scheduling questions and any other counseling type of concerns. And under the Our School, we've talked about the faculty directory, but we also want to point out the library page, because that's where we have a lot of resources that we put together for you. There is a tutorials link that has scads of tutorials, which again can look kind of crazy, but they're alphabetized. So if your child's looking for information on Delta Math and they don't know what to do, there's probably a tutorial linked on here for them. If we don't have a recording that you're looking for or the teachers are looking for, by all means shoot us an email and we'll create one. We also want to point out the research zone for any of your research needs. The research zone is awesome because it has access to the digital databases as well as a slew of tutorials, formatting information, and also sometimes pathfinders that teachers ask us to create for different subjects. So the research zone is also super helpful. On the main library page, we want to make sure you know how to get a hold of us. First of all, we have office hours every day. It's KHS Library is the Google Meet code for students to use, and it's from 1:30 to 2:30. If students aren't able to use that, they can use the green chat box in the bottom right-hand corner. All they have to do is open it up and chat. We do try to be as accessible as possible with that, but if for some reason no one responds to you, you can always fill out the Ask a Librarian form, and we are trying to respond to these within 24 hours. And while there's scads more information on our website and on the KHS website, that gives you an introduction to some of the resources that are at your fingertips. So let's review what our purpose is. Our purpose is to help with access. That means access to print resources, digital resources, as well as technology. It's to help educate you about those resources, where they are, how to use them. And it's also to provide support in the form of tech support, but also support in being accessible to you so that you can ask questions in the form of the Ask a Librarian or the chat page or email. The only thing that you absolutely have to know is the location of the library. Chances are pretty good that even if we don't have the answer, we will do our best to find an answer for you and or point you in the right direction or to the right resource.